this video is gonna make sure that you do get the visa.
Oh, is it? You saucy.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, you're most definitely welcome, and if you are a regular an individual who watches my channel each and every now and then, welcome back sis, welcome back to the Dolly's gang. And yes, your girl is back again with another video. Guys, I'm actually surprised that I can still do this intro because wow, it's been a while. And if you are an OG here, if you are a regular, you can see that the quality of the content has changed, honey, and that's because we just recently got a G7X Mark III, and guys, I couldn't wait to film on it. So I'm not going to do an unboxing on the G7X because I simply enjoy filming my videos on the camera as compared to my iPhone. If you have been watching my channel for the longest time, you know that I started with my iPhone 7 and then I went on to steal my mother's camera, which was a Canon. I have no idea what kind of Canon that is, but it was a very small camera. And then I went on to my iPhone 13 Pro Max. I was filming from the front side in the beginning, but then I ended up changing and filming from the back camera. And yo guys, let me tell you, it was a struggle. But then I tried, you know, eventually the Bay decided to sponsor us with a little camera. I mean, he invested in the channel, he invested in you guys. So you guys should just comment down below and say we love the Bay. Okay, just put a little heart down below and say we love the Bay, simply because he did such a huge thing for us. Today's video is about how to apply for a visa. Yes, I know some people know how to apply for a visa or whatever. This is not a video for you. This is a video for someone who has never traveled before and would love to travel one day, or if one day you are gonna travel, then you might come back and refer to this video. But anyway guys, this video is gonna make sure that you do get the visa. I'm not just gonna tell you how to apply, I'm gonna help you make sure that you get the visa. You know, the first step that you should do is to check whether, okay, if you don't have a passport, you need to get a passport, okay? Standard, period. And then number two, if you already have a passport that's existing, you need to make sure that you check that by the time you travel, is your passport going to be valid for at least 6 months? Because that's very important. If your passport is not going to be valid for at least 6 months during your travel or from the day of your travel, then you are going to get rejected, unfortunately. And by the way, when you already have a passport, make sure that your passport is not full. Like, at least have 2 empty pages, okay, so that you can have space for the visa and the stamps. I think that's the reason why they want you to have at least 2 empty pages. All right, and by the way, this applies to post-COVID. I know a lot of people know how to apply for a visa before COVID, but then this method is gonna apply for post-COVID, right? Because things have changed, you have a lot more documents to submit, and the procedure has just changed in general. So the second thing that you should do is to call the VFS, because, well, I'm judging from the Swiss visa that I applied for, but I assume that most visas are applied via VFS at the moment. Some consulates don't take people into their embassy. So, well, I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, some embassies don't allow people into their premises, so you have to go the VFS route, unfortunately. I know a lot of people don't like that, but that is how it is right now. So what I would advise you to do in order to save time, judging from my experience, is that you need to call VFS customer service and ask them specifically for the country that you are going to, which VFS are you going to have to go to, because there is a lot of VFSs. I think there is one in Johannesburg, there is one in Sandton, there is also one in Pretoria. So you go to a VFS according to whether they serve for the country that you want to go to or not. So in order to save time and money and petrol or whatever, like, you just need to call them and ask them, okay, say for example I was going to Switzerland, I would have called VFS and asked them which VFS should I go to for Switzerland. Okay, and then in this case it happens to be in Pretoria, so I had to travel all the way from Joburg to Pretoria. After you know which VFS to go to, then you book an appointment online. Okay, so that's also very important, that you don't waste money by paying for an appointment in the wrong place. Okay, so when you book an appointment, you have to pay. Make sure, guys, that you book your appointment in time. It is so hard, extremely hard, close to impossible to get an appointment just to go to VFS. That's the most difficult part about getting a visa. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Everything else is a walk in the park, but getting an appointment with VFS is dreading. Trust me, you really don't want to do that like last minute. So just make sure that you at least book your appointment 2 months before or a month before. All right, and bear in mind that you're not supposed to apply for a visa too soon. So you should just make sure that it's less than 30 days before you actually leave. Yeah, just make sure that you do your research. And another thing is that when you call these embassies, they're not going to help you. If you don't listen here, no one's going to help you. They're going to tell you, okay, go to our website, all the information is there, and you're just going to see gibberish when you get there, you know. So just listen to me, book an appointment to VFS, and then you do your research on the website on what documents to bring. So, but then I'm going to tell you what kind of documents they want, which is more or less the same. Well, it differs country to country, I'd like to think so, but then in this case I'm going to tell you what they needed for my Switzerland visa. Okay, because these things differ according to the type of visa that you apply for. I'm going to tell you for I'm going to tell you information about the visitor's visa, which is what I had, and then also the tourist visa, which is a little bit more complicated. It needs you to have money, like a lot of money. But I guess if you are going to travel, then you would have the funds to actually do so, right? And by the way, if you are a bit late to book an appointment, you have an option to actually book for the VIP, the lounge, but I don't think those are functioning right now during COVID times or after COVID, because I tried getting a VIP thing because I didn't get my appointment in time, but I didn't get that service, so I had to just walk in. I wouldn't recommend walking in because it was really hard for them to help me. They almost didn't help me, but then because they're really nice people, they actually helped me, but they're not supposed to. Okay guys, so now that you know when your appointment is, you need to start accumulating your documents. You are gonna accumulate your documents according to what visa you would like to apply for. In my case, I was going with my boyfriend because he was going to introduce me to his family, so I was opting for a visitor's visa. I actually wanted to go for a tourist visa, but then there is some certain documents that I didn't have just because I was going to a family, you know. So the difference that I would say between a tourist visa and a visitor's visa is that a tourist visa requires you to have hotel bookings, which is something that I didn't have. That is why I ended up taking the visitor's visa instead of the tourist visa. So what I'm going to do right now is tell you what documents you need for a visitor's visa first, and then we're going to jump through to the tourist visa. So 80% of the documents that I needed in both visas are the same. It's just a few documents. Well, from what I'm aware of right now, it's just one document that's different, which is the accommodation, proof of accommodation, proof of hotel bookings or whatever. I'm looking down here because I actually have a list of things that I wrote so that I don't miss anything. The first thing that you need for your visitor's visa is a passport. You need a passport. That's standard. You need a passport copy. They're gonna need that. I don't think you have to certify it, but I had certified mine just for safety reasons, because I didn't want to book an entire appointment and only be turned back because my passport is not certified. I mean, that is quite careless if you don't certify your documents in case they turn you back. I don't know whether they will turn you back or they will accept it, but then I just wanted to be on the safe side. Okay, so the second thing that they needed, even though I had a sponsorship, they needed my bank statements. And I assume that they needed my bank statements to check whether my salary comes in regularly, because they also need you to have a reason to come back to South Africa. I think that was a part of checking my employment status, because you need to provide something that shows that you have commitments in South Africa and you are definitely going to come back, because they don't want people going all the way to Europe and not coming back. What most people do is that they go on holiday, get to the holiday destination, see that there are better opportunities there, enjoy life, throw away their passports and say that they are refugees, and they just never come back. That's how people end up in Europe, basically. So the embassy tries as hard as they can to narrow down the amount of people that are not gonna come back, you know. Well, they try as hard as like they need to be sure that you're gonna come back, basically. And the next thing that you need is a flight booking, guys. I don't know how to make a flight booking without actually booking the flight. My boyfriend and I took a huge risk. We literally booked our tickets, like we paid for the tickets, but apparently you can make a reservation without actually paying the tickets. I don't know how, but then you can check on YouTube how to make a flight reservation without actually paying for it, because in case you get rejected, then you stand a better chance of changing your dates as compared to when you've already paid the flights. I mean, we took a huge risk. It was like 20,000 rands that we took a risk of by booking the flights before I got the visa, but I guess it all worked out well in the end. But I wouldn't advise doing that. Okay, the next thing that they need is you to have a certain amount in your bank account. So just make sure that when you submit your bank statements, they have a certain amount. I'm not sure, it differs country to country. In my case, my boyfriend just put in like 50,000 rands, and I ended up sending it back to him just so that something can reflect in my account. And by the time I printed the bank statements, they were showing already. They don't care even if they transfer the amount 5 minutes before you actually print your bank statements. They don't care. They just want to see the money in the account. Okay, so the next thing that I needed personally, because my visa and my whole trip was sponsored by my boyfriend, he had to write down a sponsorship letter. That letter consisted of his bank statements, his passport copies, and basically just a letter stating that he is going there to introduce me to his family and stuff like that. So basically you just need a letter stating that the person is gonna sponsor everything that you do during the trip. Like basically the person is gonna take care of you while you're there, so you don't need to worry about any financial issues. So in this case, I don't think it's necessary to have money in your bank account, but then just to be safe, I think you should have a little bit money in your bank account, like maybe say over 50,000 rands at least. Especially if you're going to go to an expensive country like Switzerland, you just need to provide at least something, guys, at least something. Okay, and the next thing that you will need for a visitor's visa is an invitation letter. That is very important. They need the invitation letter to have the address of the person, just so they know where you're going to be staying and how long you're going to be staying and stuff like that. Just I mean, you can also do research about how to write an invitation letter, which I think a lot of people know how to. But then if you have no idea how to do that, you can also just check other YouTube videos on how to do that. Just know that you're gonna need that. And then the next thing you will need is a vaccination certificate. So after your vaccination certificate, you're gonna also need travel insurance. Travel insurance is also very important. They definitely gonna ask you for it, and if you don't have it, then you will not continue with your visa application. And then the last thing that you need is your proof of employment, or a copy of your lease, just anything to prove that you have commitments in South Africa and you will not come back because that's very important. And by the way, before you actually go to the embassy, I told you need to give the embassy at least 15 processing days. These days are not necessarily working days. They also count the Sundays and the Saturdays, so you don't need to worry about that. But just make sure that you have at least 15 processing days. If you don't, then they reject you immediately and you just cannot proceed with your application. They won't even take it. Okay, they will turn you back and it will be a fail. You're gonna need to come back and pay for a new appointment, which is what we don't want. Anyway, for the tourist visa, you basically need the same documents except an invitation letter. Instead of an invitation letter, then you provide a proof of accommodation or hotel bookings. And then another thing is that you need to have a certain amount in your bank account, unless if you have a sponsorship. Basically, that is it for both the tourist visa and the visitor's visa. They're most likely the same. The only difference is that on the visitor's visa, you submit an invitation letter, and then on the other tourist visa, then you submit your hotel bookings. That's the only difference, guys. You don't need to struggle. Yeah, and then the next thing is that you need to attend your appointment. When you go and attend your appointment, make sure that you keep calm, guys. You keep calm. Make sure that you have all your documents ready for submission, and then you just basically gonna get there in time. You're gonna queue there, they're gonna call you, you submit your documents, and then you go to the biometrics. When you go to your biometrics, guys, keep calm. I don't know if this makes any difference, but I feel like your visa could be rejected because of the biometrics. It's like you get into a room and cameras, and they tell you to look at the camera and you say your name and stuff like that. It's just scary. Okay, it's scary, but then just keep calm. That's all I can tell you. And just also take note that once you do your biometrics once a year, you won't be required to do them again for the rest of the year. So I think your biometrics last for 12 months. I'm not sure if it's done yearly or they're just going to consider your results for within 12 months. I'm not sure if that's how it works. So I'm not sure if biometrics for 2022 are for 2022, or you can carry yours over until you've just finished 12 months per person. I'm not sure. I never asked that, but just know that it's something that's done every year. Okay, so now after you're done with your biometrics, what you are gonna do is actually leave the embassy and wait. So what they say is that your visa processing is gonna take 15 days, but the truth of the matter is that it might take lesser days depending on what type of visa you're applying for. That's what I think. My visa was a visitor's visa. It was very quick. I think I got a response within 4 days, and basically what they do is that they send you an SMS telling you to come and collect your passport. First of all, you don't even know the results. Like, you can't even track it online on the VFS website. They're just gonna say ready for collection, so you don't know whether you got the visa or not. You are gonna find out when you get there. So when you get to VFS, they are gonna let you into a room and they will give you your results in a letter, and they allow you to open your own letter. So once you open your letter, you're gonna see whether there is a note in there saying that you've been rejected. I don't know if whether when you get rejected they do tell you why you were rejected, but then in my case, when I opened there, I was scared for my life because I didn't see anything in there. I thought there was going to be a letter or something. It was just my passport, and I just thought, oh my goodness, they have rejected me because there is nothing in here to state anything. It's just my passport, only to find that they actually print a visa, a new visa inside your passport. Like, it's like a little ID little thing inside your passport, so it's a part of your passport. It's not like a letter that you go and submit or whatever. I don't know if that's a new thing, because most people were shocked when we were passing by immigration. Most people couldn't find my visa. I think that's a new thing. I'm not sure how it used to work back in the days, but then right now they actually print you a like sort of ID, like a Swiss thing, if you're going to Switzerland, well, or whatever country you're going to. Okay, so yeah, that is pretty much it. There is nothing more, nothing less. And if you are looking to travel anytime soon, safe travels to you, travel mercies, and I wish you all the best with your visa application. I hope that I said important information that's going to help you get your visa, instead of the runarounds of being rejected and applying again and all of that. We definitely don't want that, because it's a lot of money actually applying for a visa, and you also need to spend money when you're on holiday, guys. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps a lot. And anyway, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe down below. If you feel like I didn't put some information, you are very much welcome to comment down below any other suggestions that you have, or any other tips for people to use during their visa applications in order to get them to be more eligible to get the visa. The most important point that I would say is that you should at least have a reason why you will come back to South Africa. I feel like that's the most important thing. It's very crucial that you have a reason to come back to South Africa, because I have a friend who's a diplomat. He told me that they do like consider that highly, that you have to have a reason, a solid reason to come back to South Africa. And don't say you have a child, because I mean, if you go there and you end up getting married and you move into the country, you can take your child in there. So that's not solid proof. I just feel like something like a proof of lease and your proof of employment is something that's very helpful in that process. Please don't forget that, guys. If you are not working, I don't know how to help you. I don't know, just find something proof that you are definitely gonna come back to South Africa. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I love you so much, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. Love you lots, my dolls, my darlings. Bye.